I'm Jocelyn Minerve, and today we're going to be talking about how to transition and pursue a career in international education at a top-tier international school. So not just teaching English overseas for $15 an hour, which is what I usually see online. This is going to be episode 1. In this episode, we're going to be talking about those who are current teachers, administrators, athletic directors, just people who work in the school or people who don't work in the school and who are ready to get into international education at a quality school. Anyways, let's just jump right into how do we do it. Step 1, you want to make sure that you have the basic requirements. At minimum, you're going to need a bachelor's degree. A bachelor's degree in education, child development, something to do with children. However, as long as you have just a bachelor's degree, that might be enough. Especially if you're willing to teach some secondary education. Maybe you have a bachelor's in chemistry, biology, business, economics. You can literally teach that subject at the secondary level. For example, my husband, who originally entered the world of international education, he only had a business degree. However, during our first round of interviews, he was offered several positions just off of his skill set alone. Which brings me to step 2. Step 2, you want to highlight anything and everything you've ever done in your resume, especially if it has to do with children. Volunteer work, nannying, babysitting, aftercare at a school, an after-school program, anything to do with kids, definitely put it on your resume. Now, here's my resume. Clearly, you want your typical resume stuff. Where you graduated, what your degree is in, your experience. If you aren't working in education or at a school, think about the ways that you can connect with education and shows that you're a trustworthy individual with children. For example, my husband. Here's his resume. When we were in the States, he had a business where he partnered with rec centers, parks, schools, where he coached basketball and taught kids all about basketball skills. Now, I kid you not, in our very first interview at a top-tier school in Mexico, he was offered a position to teach basketball skills. Yes, teach basketball skills. Again, you want to make sure you highlight anything and everything because although that's not a position in the States, it was totally a position and a job that he almost took in Mexico here in an international school. Now, let's look at his other skills. My husband worked at the Marriott. Here at the Marriott, working in operations, he was in charge of a confidential database, inputting and outputting information. Sounds like a grade book to me. Remember, schools have managers, people who work in marketing, college counseling, career counseling, people who work with the alumni division. There's so many jobs that's not just teachers. And if you need help to build an attractive resume for international schools, you're going to want to make sure that you click this video right here. Now, step 3. You want to make yourself even more marketable than you are in this very moment. In the States, there's been so much burnout, shortages of teachers, people are leaving. And what does that mean for the international network? There's a lot of people applying. It's competitive now. Things that will really boost your resume that won't take a ton of time, doing workshops on whole brain teaching, project-based learning, inquiry-based learning. And a lot of these things are free or low to no cost. And I'll make sure that I put the link at the bottom below in the description. For example, my husband, he took a free course through Harvard's online education department. Free from Harvard. If you've done all these things, you can now apply, which brings me to Step 4. Step 4. Apply online at these websites. AMISA, Teacher Horizons, and Search Associates. Now, Teacher Horizons and AMISA I highly recommend because they are low cost, user friendly. Pretty much anyone can join. As Teacher Horizons is more like Indeed. So it's a very user friendly platform. There's a list of positions. It says where the school is located. There might be a few reviews. But it's very much like Indeed for international school teaching. AMISA, however, in my opinion, is a little bit more efficient. However, AMISA only serves the Americas, so South America, North America, the Caribbean, and Central America. So if you're looking at teaching abroad in like the UK or Asia or Africa, AMISA is not going to be for you. The reason why I recommend it over Teacher Horizons is there's actual real people that can help you with AMISA. So they'll have a virtual interview day, they'll do workshops about your first time teaching abroad or diversity, equity, inclusion, and they'll have people who really know what's going on in the field and people who are experienced who've been in international education for a long time. I attended a workshop there 2 years ago and I was really surprised how I was able to network with some really big names in international education and that they really wanted to help me. Now, Search Associates is the biggest one. I highly recommend. However, I only recommend Search Associates for people who already have a background in education, or if your spouse has a background in education and you're serious about moving abroad. Now, the price, Search Associate does have a very hefty price. I currently don't know what it is, but I'll make sure to link it in this video how much it is. But it's going to recruit the top schools from all over the world. And just like they're recruiting the top schools, they're recruiting the top teachers. So just because you sign up doesn't mean you'll actually be accepted into the recruitment agency or if you actually be accepted into the fairs. You have to have an invitation. When we were at Search Associates, we felt like we were completely catered to. The associate that was assigned to us, he went above and beyond. So when I was reaching out to future employers or people that I was interested in, he literally had access to my messages and could say, hey, I noticed that you said this. Maybe try saying it a different way, or maybe cater your cover letter to make sure that you mention this. That was a huge help because you want to make sure people even pull your resume and your cover letter to interview you. And then once we received offers from multiple schools, he helped us narrow it down which one was the best for us. This is a real person that I could literally talk to on the phone, who had taught in education, who had worked in administration, and now this is all he did was literally commit to us and the other people he was helping out move abroad. So shout out to Pete. Thanks, Pete. Now, no matter what you choose, all three agencies are going to have similar things. They're going to show student-to-teacher ratio. They're going to show you the amount of money that you'll probably be able to save. They'll show if you have tickets back home every year or if it's something that you get at the end of contract, how many locals to foreign hires in the population, and even in the foreigners. Is it Americans? Is it people from the UK? Is it people from El Salvador? It's gonna break down everything. Now, if you've made it this far in this video and you're serious about going abroad, you're gonna wanna check out my next video right here where I offer you tips with interviewing and choosing the school that's right for you. Thanks so much, and peace out.